Hi everyone, it's Gigabeef. Today I'm back with the third episode of my beginners series. We're going to be talking about the basics of making money when starting out as a new player. In short, to me there are 4 ways to make money in Tarkov. Number 1, completing quests given by the traders. Number 2, getting PMC or Scav kills winning raid and looting. Number 3, loot runs, which can be done either as a PMC or a Scav. Or number 4, which is my preferred favourite and the one I'm going to cover in this video, is Speedy Scav runs on factory. I also like to think of the flea market as number 5, as it can be a source of outright profit or help you to lose less when buying items. I always think of it this way, losing less is gaining more. However, I'll be covering the flea market in the next video. Our ultimate goal is to play as much PMC as possible, so with that in mind let's check out the options. Number 1. Quests. Quests can be difficult and hard to complete. Often they can even require you to spend money to finish them. In a few cases you're likely to end up with less money than you started due to odd requirements or forcing you to go to places that you're likely to die. That being said, quests are important. I personally don't consider them a great or consistent way of making money at the beginning of the game. Number 2 is PMC or Scav kills in raid. This one is easier said than done. If you can turn up and kill everyone and take their stuff, your life in Tarkov is going to be fairly easy. However, no beginner is going to be banging down PMCs left, right and centre from day one. Even skilled FPS players will take time to learn the maps and the tempo of Tarkov that comes over time. All that being said, kills in raid are a bit random and not consistent, and I really wouldn't recommend it for beginners. Obviously you should try to get as many kills as you can, but it's just not a dependable source. On number 3 we have loot runs as a PMC or Scav. Now we're kind of into better territory. You can pick up your Scav, and note that you can check your loadout in the menu before you decide what map to play, and play with the idea to grab everything not nailed down. Patch 0.12 is much kinder on new players in this sense. With the addition of the hideout, almost everything is valuable, so filling your bag with 5k per slot items has become an awful lot easier. Some players do prefer to run these raids for money, and PMC runs can include buying keys and designing loot runs through Interchange, Shoreline Resort or Reserve. However, keeping our original goal in mind, we end up playing a lot of long Scav raids this way, which is really not the idea. Finally, on number 4, Speedy Scav factory runs. These are definitely my favourite Scav raids for 3 main reasons. Firstly, you get to learn factory, which is a unique map in Tarkov due to its tiny size. No other map even comes close to the size of factory, and bumping into players is inevitable. Once you move further on in the game and have to kill PMCs for quests, factory is the obvious choice due to sheer proximity to other players, so knowing this map is very useful. Secondly, as always, we want to play more PMC, so let's make the Scav raids as short as possible. Factory raids can be as short as 20 to 30 seconds depending on your spawn point. Thirdly, we take the greatest advantage of the free stuff we've been given. Your Scav timer only starts to count down again once the last raid was finished, so smashing out a factory run maximises the number of times that you can Scav in an hour. The downside to factory is the survival rate is not as high as other maps. I played 10 factory raids as a simple test and survived roughly 50%. However, as I can jump straight back into a PMC raid, it's not that big a deal if I die. On other maps, you run the risk of collecting loads of loot and then dying on the way to the exit because you can't defend yourself. Scav ammo is typically very bad, and this can highly limit your offensive capabilities if you get into trouble. Before playing, you should take a look around in offline mode. As a Scav or a PMC, you will always have the Gate 3 exit, and this is the exit that I personally use 90% of the time. Go offline and check out where this is critical before you start. The main issue with this exit is it's frequently camped as it's such a common exfil spot. However, this only seems to happen about 10% of the time, and usually these guys are not that difficult to kill if you're careful on your way in. Check those corners. When first starting out doing factory runs, you probably want to leave with almost anything you have on you, and transfer that gear to your PMC character to run a real raid. As you progress, you can tailor your runs depending on your kit. Basic pistol and little else? Go and see if you can kill someone. If not, nothing was really lost, but you have everything to gain from trying, plus your own PvP experience. The next development for a new player should be to learn the relative values of the items on the flea market and with the traders. This comes with practice and gets easier the more of it you do. I've mentioned before that 0.12 is easier to make money than any other patch, and with items like bolts, nuts, screws, as well as food going for 5k minimum if not 10k per slot, this makes getting cash easier than ever before. I'm going to be covering the flea market and how to maximise your profits in the next video, so be sure to check it out as this is really important. One final general point is that it's a good idea to rush the intelligence centre in the hideout to level 1. This doesn't cost that many resources, and the Scav cooldown timer of minus 15% makes a difference going from 17 minutes versus 20 minutes beforehand. Hopefully this guide has given you guys an easier time to start making money for your raids, with a method that doesn't take 40 minutes to risk dying at the end for nothing. For me psychologically I mind much less when I die in 30 seconds in factory versus a lengthy game with tons of loot that I end up losing. As I said before, I want to be playing those longer games with my PMC anyway to benefit from levelling up my character and skills. If you've enjoyed this content or learned something new, please send a like and subscribe. It really helps and means a lot to me as a new channel. See you next time for more beginners videos.